Hey guys, I wanted to show you a few things. I know I haven't been on in a while. I just haven't felt led, but I've been watching with you and I've been, observing all these things with the hybrid solar eclipse and there's something about that struck me, and I'm going to pull together a lot of different things just in the past couple hours. The Lord has led me from one thing to another with all this information that just came to me, or I didn't know, or I found. And one thing was in the comments. And so uh, basically, to sum it up, it has to do with a possible 7-day warning from the hybrid solar eclipse, taking you to April 26th or 7th. Um, Now, one of the things, first of all, that hybrid solar eclipse, as you probably know by now, it was a sign to right before the rise of power for Hitler. And it also hit on April 20th, Hitler's birthday, another year, which we just passed. And it, April 20th April 20th was also Ticklish's birthday, so I feel like it's like, okay, you want to go with either Ticklish or Hitler here, because Ticklish, of course, is symbolic of the innocence and the adorableness of the innocence of God's love. And Hitler, of course, the Antichrist image, right? He's the type and shadow prototype of the Antichrist. And that's why this hybrid solar eclipse is telling us that the Antichrist is about to take power. And uh, there was, by the way, go to it quickly, out of, out of 224 eclipses in the 21st century, only 7 were hybrid. Okay, so one thing that struck me is that hybrid also, what it really means is like when you mix genes. And the age of the Antichrist, the whole thing with the B system, it has to do with, it's related to the hybrid, uh, the mixing genes that don't go together, that you're not supposed to mix. And during the tribulation, you're going to see a lot of hybrids. You're going to see, because they're already doing it, that, they're mixing the genes of animals with people, all kind of freaky things. I've seen pictures of like a weird looking person with big monkey ears and weird, just really gross. A man. I saw a pig with a man's face once. I mean, they do some pretty creepy things in the labs. And but during the tribulation, I think one of the things you're going to see is there's going to be weird looking monsters everywhere, hybrids everywhere. And that's why I think that this solar eclipse hybrid, it's symbolic of this is which is about to start, the Antichrist, the rise of the Antichrist, and the age of the hybrid, the 7 years of hybrid. And of course, the mark of the beast itself, will completely destroy your DNA and send you to hell. So don't take the mark of the beast if you're here. There's no hope once you take that mark on your right hand or forehead, according to Revelation 13. You can't buy or sell or do any business or do anything without it. And so if you're here then and you come to Christ, then don't take the mark, they will kill you, but at least you'll be with Jesus, if you come to Christ. But I would do it now, to come to Christ now, believe in him now, because he's the only way to the Father, and the only other place you can go is hell, heaven or hell. And time is running out. And, we also have I'm going to get back to that first picture you saw of Prince Harry in a second. But all these things are tying together. And so, okay, let's just say, this eclipse is a warning, a 7-day warning. It takes you to April 27th, okay? Now, a couple hours ago, my husband and I were talking about something. I don't even remember what we were talking about. And for some reason, he mentioned Prince Henry when he said boom, if you remember that, when he was with a picture. We'll go back to that. Let's go back to that. Here we are. So I suddenly remembered when he said that the date on his phone was April 27th. So I went to check it, and I want to show you something here.
Oh, from Michelle. How very amazing.
See? April 27th. 1815. 1815. So, I look up that, and I am blown away. Okay, where is it? I hope I didn't. Wow, I might have to go and look for it again. I thought I had it up here. I must have closed it by accident. Okay, let me get it. Okay, I can't even believe this. I mean, honestly, when I saw this, I thought, okay, you know what? I need to do a video. I don't want to make too big a deal out of this stuff. It's just some guy's cell phone, and the Queen, and boom, and of course Obama's in the video too. I mean, yeah, it's there's so many codes and numbers and dates and movies and stuff that you don't want to just go down the wrong road with it. But when I saw this, I was like, okay, Strong's Greek 1815. Oh, it only means a rising up and out and a resurrection. I mean, can you get any more direct than that? Rising up and out. Yeah, let's get out of here. And a resurrection. And then in Hebrew, if that isn't good enough, it means to burn. I mean, look at, even here, Bible Tools has it. That I might attain unto the resurrection of the dead. I mean, so on Prince Henry's phone is 1815, a rising up, a resurrection, and to burn. And we know things are going to be burning after the rapture. I mean, throughout the 7 years of tribulation, a lot of the earth is going to be burned, completely burned. So, all right, now, then something else connected to this whole thing. Okay, I realize, okay, let's look at the calendar second here. Torah calendar. Now, keep in mind, this is the second month on the Torah calendar. Okay, now, is this the correct calendar for God's time right now, or are we in the first month? Well, we might be in the first month, but for the sake of, for the sake of, I don't even know what, just sanity at this point. I mean, we got to stick to one calendar. This one, at least right now, is in sync again with Israel. So there is valid reasons that when Jesus comes to get us, he's going to do it on a day that will mean a lot to Israel. Now, look what I found while I was looking at this. I just noticed that, okay, here's April 27th. It's the 6th day. Now, April 26th, I've mentioned before, I always felt like the rapture, it just had a ring to it for the rapture, okay? Now, this has absolutely no biblical backup. My April 26th thing is completely mine. It has nothing to do with the Bible. It's just me. So take it or leave it. It could mean absolutely nothing, but it's interesting that it's on the, that it's the day before, hours before April 27th, and it's the 5th of Iyar. The second month is Iyar. That is when Israel's true birthday. Okay, right here. I'll show you. It says right here, because Israel declared independence on May 14th, 1948, which corresponded with the Hebrew date of Iyar 5 in that year. Yom Hatzmaut, I don't know how to say it, was originally celebrated on that date. So the 5th of Iyar just happens to be hours before the 27th of April. If Prince Henry goes on to say, boom in this little thing here. I'll show you.
So you like to watch it together?
Yes.
Let's have a look.
Hey, Prince Harry, remember when you told us to bring it at the Invictus Games?
Careful what you wish for.
Oh, really? Please.
Boom.
Okay, so, what do you really mean by boom? What do you really mean by boom? That's the question here. All right, now I have a theory on that one. So, is something going to go down? A boom, a bomb, a nuclear hit, something big? It's also the 21st in the Omer Day count, which is interesting with the number 21, of course. And the Lord could come right before the boom on the 26th, which would be Israel's birthday, which would tell them, hey, maybe the real God, maybe God is really doing something. Maybe Yahweh, maybe Yahweh's doing something, although they reject Yeshua. So maybe they'll put it together that something's going on if Yeshua was to come on this day and then there's some type of attack the next day. It's a real possibility. I mean, you got Obama in this thing. I mean, these we've got some evil players going on here. So yeah, I mean, something could be planned for that day, and with the 1815 timestamp on it to burn and the resurrection of and to rise up and out, it's incredible right now to me to see all this stuff. And then on top of that, I saw a comment about Henry Gruver on my video, my last video, and thank you for the comment. Thank you all for all your comments. You're all always full of amazing, rich knowledge. So something I thought, what's the connection? Because okay, so we're dealing with the royal family here, and now we have King Charles about to be coronated on May 6th. And so it struck me was the connection with the royal family right now. And so, I haven't really been that interested in it yet until I saw the comment. And then I thought, well, he mentioned Henry Gruver had a vision relating with King Charles was in his vision. Now, let me show you this. This is something I found with Prince Charles' vision. So this is connecting to the possible boom here because, and I mean by that, I mean a nuclear hit. I mean, we just heard about six submarines left Russia into the Pacific that have nuclear capacities just 2 days ago. So this guy, Henry Gruver, had a vision, Prince Charles, and this was back in 1986, okay? And Henry Gruver had visions of Russia attacking America. So look what's going on right now. Now, I'm going to play a minute of this so you can see the connection, why the fact that now King Charles is in the news, about to be crowned, could be telling, very telling of this right now is about to happen.
Up to the microphone, and he said, "I thank you for coming today. You're here by my request. Please take heed. I have a message for you."
Now that's Henry Gruver speaking about Prince Charles at the time, is saying what he's about to say right now.
And then he said these words, "I must inform you that your nation is at war and you have a battle to fight. But the saddest thing is you must fight it without God." With that, the general behind him, the American four-star general, jumped to his feet, come down off the platform, came around on the ground in front of him, and looked up Charles very sarcastically, and he said, "We know we're at war, and we know we have a battle to fight, but we didn't know God had anything to do with it."
Yeah, and here's the problem, is that God has been completely thrown out of our country. And America has a battle to fight, but the sad thing is that she'll be fighting it without God. That's what he said. What does that mean? It means that we will lose this war. So without God means things like passing laws that little children can change their gender without telling their parents now. Without God could mean when you fill out an application, they have about 20 different options for male and female or other, plus 15 choices that I've never heard of. Perhaps without God means I don't even know, which bathroom to go in because I don't know if I feel like a guy or girl today. Let me see. What do I think? How do I feel? I can do whatever I want now. Or maybe without God means aborting and killing and murdering millions and millions of babies every year. Or maybe without God means maybe some financial criminal activity, or some. Of course, you got to be careful. I got to be careful what I say here. Okay, I do, because not allowed to say a lot anymore. So, but without God could mean like what a lot of people might say is conspiracy theory isn't really one. So, in an anything goes society where good is evil and evil is good, not to mention trafficking, okay? Yeah. So, listen, we're at the end. We are at the end. We are at the end. This is everything I've been saying the past few years from dreams that I've had from God. This is actually the fulfillment happening right before our eyes of things that I've had the dreams of, that I've told you about. Obviously 21-0 America is happening every day. It gets worse. And it's going to finally end up, unfortunately, only unfortunately for those who are not saved, but obviously God has to judge evil, and he cannot let these things continue on. And we're at the end anywhere. We're at the end of the age of grace. That, and by the way, that last Shemitah should literally be starting literally now. It should be starting now. And interesting that Israel's birthday, their real birthday, is in a couple days. And you can see, I'm not going to go into it because I don't want this, I don't want this thing to cut me off here, but with the tension with Iran and Israel right now, and Israel thinking they need to attack Iran because Iran has what they need now to nuke and destroy Israel, as they've been saying they want to wipe them off the map for years. And now that they can, Israel, excuse me, Israel needs to do a preemptive strike. In fact, it could be any minute now. They were going to wait till Ramadan was over. Now it's over. The stage is set for Jacob's trouble. And so all of these things are looking like they're right on schedule. Right on schedule for the Bible. The Bible told you so. 7 years from now, 2030. I saw an amazing video that talks about Christ being crucified in 30 AD and prove why it's then, not any other year that people think. We're at 6,000 years minus 7 is right now. So, okay, now let me see if I have. Something minor here I'll mention. Well, minor, but I mean, there's been deep studies on this lately, but I just looked up this right here for April 27, okay? The moon is entering into the Cancer, the crab, which is known as the place of shelter. And the moon, of course, is the bride. And so that's interesting because if there was a boom on the 27th, we would be taken to a place of safety. And then on top of that, look at this. Look what I noticed here. This is a straight line. Look at this straight line. Remember, throughout the years, I've mentioned these dreams that the rapture would happen when the planets were in alignment in a straight line. You got Jupiter, Sun, Mercury, Uranus, Venus, and Mars, and the moon. Look at that. Straight line all the way. Jupiter in Pisces, the fish, on the 27th. The fish, the great catch for the rapture. The sun in Aries, which is the horn, the trumpet. Mercury, the messenger. Uranus, the symbol of heaven. And anyway, I haven't really gone into all that yet, but a perfect straight line, and the bride, the moon, in the place of shelter right on this day. So for all of these reasons, I am really, and not only that, did I mention I think I must have, but from the hybrid solar eclipse, Noah's 7-day warning takes you to the 27th. And that is a solar eclipse is a warning to the world. And the rise of the Antichrist is literally, I mean, it's literally supposed to happen now in the timetable of God, of the calendars that we've gone over. The timing is just extraordinary for all of this. And so we'll close with this. Isaiah 40:31, but those who hope in the Lord will renew their strength. They will soar on wings like eagles. They will run and not grow weary. They will walk and not be faint. So we look at these things like Jesus said to watch, to watch, because you don't know what hour your Lord doth come. And as we watch, we're keeping our hope alive. And that's why I think God uses me to give messages like this of, it could really happen, and for all the times it didn't happen, it helped us keep watching and seeing what the Lord is doing, and keeping our mind on the things of God and on the fact that he is coming to get us. So as you hope and you keep your hope, you will renew your strength and you will soar on wings like eagles. That, my friend, ultimately, that's going to be when we really soar on wings and go up like eagles. You will run and not grow weary. We will walk and not be faint. So, so many reasons to know that we're about out of here, We see where the world is falling apart at the seams. I mean, one crisis after another, one train crash after another, one food production company on fire, one after another, chemical spills here and there. It just goes on and on. Financial collapse is on the way, food shortages.